Hey, hi, hello. Ooh, for me right now, it's still that period between Christmas and New Year's where nothing really seems to exist, which is why I'm cosplaying a garbage bag right now. But regardless, we are back in action, and what better way to make sure that my muscle memory still remembers what a kendama even is than to try to hit a trick on every kendama that I own. Almost. You see, Christmas just trickled by, so I am grateful to have gotten some goodies that may or may not add to my kendama collection, but I've got to give those the unboxing and reviews and love and care that they truly deserve before throwing them in a video like this, so look forward to seeing those new things in many videos to come. I'll probably make a whole Christmas gift rundown kind of video to show you some of the other hobby related stuff I got, because those are always a fun way to sneak in some of my other interests into the channel, and then I like looking back on videos like that for the oh so sweet Christmas memories in the future, and then maybe you guys get a new idea of a hobby you might want to pick up and try. It's like a win-win-win. While we're on the topic of Christmas and the holidays, let me know how your holidays were. You know, if you got any cool or exciting gifts, and if there was that one event that occurred over your holidays. I know there's something, whether it's good or bad, there's always that one thing, that one event that seems to happen over Christmas for everybody, whether it's the crazy family member story or the gift that got stolen off the porch. I know there's something, so let's hear your stories in the comments. In terms of what your eyeballs are seeing right now, I actually went through each of the kendamas in my collection in the order that I got them. So that's kind of fun to see, you know, what's older, what's newer as the video and this practice session progresses. And also the tricks that I chose to hit for them were more or less whatever felt right to practice, to get into the groove of, and to hit at the time. So see if while you're watching and listening simultaneously, if you can pick out what trick I'm kind of trying to hit before it actually spikes. And with all that said, an update. So what's been going on? What's new and exciting? I mean, it's been almost a month probably since I posted a video, that illegal kendama tricks video I think was the last one, and that's not necessarily by choice, and it's also not necessarily going to continue. I've got lots of videos planned and seemingly a bit more free time to create them, but yeah, it's been quite the busy and hectic December to say the least. Let me try to get this in chronological order. So we're going back a little bit. This is during busy exam season time. If you didn't know, I just wrapped up my final semester of a computer science degree. So December and the end of a semester is not necessarily what we would call a fun time. I mean, exams, projects, all of it. It's all in December. And it's during this time, probably shortly after I put out that last video, that I just pick up this nasty cold. Super stuffy, tired headache, nose bleeding all over the place, binder clips and Kleenex to plug it shut, all the good stuff you'd expect with a good cold. And I don't know how much really anybody in my generation keeps up with like the local news, but I've heard the message and the sentiment more than once that if you're feeling like you have cold symptoms, just assume that you've got the big C at this point. And by big C, yeah, I mean the COVID, not the Mediterranean. So yeah, I mean, that was an inconvenience to say the least, but I managed to pull through the formal exams, but a tad more organized pain would quite literally hit me in the face before my work was truly over. These were two simultaneous things on my list. One, to complete my AI chess project where I had to code a program that could play chess against a human, and two, get my wisdom teeth yoinked right out of my mainframe. And for anyone who's ever done anything ever, you can probably imagine that this wasn't what I would call a highlight of my educational career. I will say getting my wisdoms out was not really bad at all. I was actually sedated for the procedure, and let me tell you, whatever they used to put you under worked absolute wonders on me. All I remember, if I'm being honest, is okay, we're gonna start an IV now, and then okay, the surgery is done. That's literally all I remember from that day. But I know it doesn't always go that smooth for everyone, so I am grateful that at least the day of, everything did go well. The sad part is the whole recovery process where your jaw doesn't really want to move and you have to eat pure mush for a week. I'll give you a quick example day. day in the life of a mush eater. Wake up, applesauce, lunchtime, soup broth with nothing in it, dinner time, mashed potatoes, and then bedtime, and repeat the next day for like a week. And then, of course, woven between that senior's home menu was some work on that project that I mentioned. But honestly, I'll spare the details. I can brush over it because you know that feeling once you're at the very tail end of school, you're just trying to get your stuff done enough, and you're like reading the rubric, how to get enough marks to like pass. And that's really all I did. I got the project done as much as it needed to be done and little more. But it's done. So, finally, I can chew some food on the right side of my face. All of my schoolwork is submitted. Mariah Carey's been wanting me for like at least a month now, and we can ball up like Sonic and roll into the holidays. My girlfriend and I start by meticulously collecting all of the ingredients for these wonderful, voluptuous Christmas cookies we plan to make. We spend a nice evening watching Spider-Man No Way Home, which, side note, fantastic movie. If you don't read too much into how the resolution to the conflict took basically zero effort, it's a very enjoyable culmination of years of Spidey goodness. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, our cookie dough. Yes, our cookie dough that we meticulously crafted, which was supposed to have the consistency of cookie dough, was more like a large pot of wet and dry sand at the same time, maybe? And since we weren't baking these cookies until a few days later, we just had to sleep on the fact that we might have some train wreck inedible cookies come Christmas time. And yes, this is like even less than a first world problem, but I figured I'd mention it because these cookies are a great metaphor for the holiday surprises that are yet to come. And I do not mean the ones under the tree. I mean the ones in the animal hospital and the ones in the drywall. Now, knowing that these things are resolved now, it's easy to speed through without too much detail. But first, yeah, we did have a family pet on the brink of, not being a family pet anymore, which is not something that anyone enjoys, of course. And it was kind of a sad, dreary vibe over everyone in the family for those few days leading up to Christmas. And then Christmas Eve of all days, we had another little visitor issue as I woke up to the wonderful sounds of scratching inside of one of the walls in our house. Like straight up interior bathroom drywall, mouse inside that wall scratching, going nuts. Again, I'll spare the details, but ultimately if you Google how to get a mouse out of the wall and you follow the steps that come up, that works in like literally 10 minutes. It's crazy. But between me and my father, who I happen to be a lot like, we overthink pretty much everything. So deciding on this master plan and method to get the mouse out of the wall took like 4 hours, and then actually executing the plan took like 5 minutes. So I mean, that's gotta be a life lesson for something, but it's really just another story of that's what I was up to on Christmas Eve. Now, fast forward. The last fast forward that we need, 24 hours to Christmas Day. Our pet was graciously, thankfully, wonderfully, happily able to come home literally on Christmas Day, like in the afternoon. It was like, oh, should we open gifts? And then the phone rings and we can go pick up the pet. Okay, that's fantastic. Our cookies that I was mentioning that looked like bowls of sand, they kind of baked out their imperfections and turned out pretty good, and we were able to enjoy them and enjoy a pretty great Christmas overall. I've said it before and I'll say it again, just keep chugging away, just keep grinding. There's always some form of good waiting for you wherever you're going. Sometimes it may be more difficult to find than others, but there's always something to learn, something to gain from every situation. So, keep an open mind, keep that in mind, and yeah, there's always a light. So really, there it is. That's the update. Maybe I brushed over a couple of things too quickly. Maybe I inserted more detail than necessary at some points, but we can keep the conversation going. Keep your stories in the comments. Let me know what your Christmas was all about, how great, how bad, how mediocre it might have been, and I mean, where do we go from here? Like I mentioned, I did get some very awesome gifts, very thankful and grateful for that stuff that came over Christmas, and I'm eager to share it with you. Obviously, like I mentioned, I'm done school now, and that means I get to start looking for an actual job, which will take some time. I mean, you don't really care about that, but that's the next chapter for me. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll play more kendama, we'll collect more Lego, we'll be sad when it doesn't all fit on the display shelf, and we'll hopefully find more things that are fun and exciting to do besides, watching TV and paying Skip the Dishes redonkulous delivery fees. I sincerely do hope you had a fantastic holiday season. I hope you're excited for the next weeks, months, years, decades to come. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you. See you later. Peace.